host Caolan, aka Caolers, aka Seagull Neill, and
Shane Reed, aka GreyMrFreeze.
I had a headset set up with it.
Vader gear.
Play carrier.
Just fucking send it.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Pew Pew Cast. I am your host Shane Reed, and today we're going to be talking about, it's not a how to set up rifles, it is a way to set up rifles, right? It's more of a tips and tricks on how I've been setting up rifles for the past year or so, because everyone knows when you start off airsoft first, you want to slap every piece of kit onto your rifle. So between grips, torches, sights, grenade launchers, sights on the grenade launchers, sights on top of sights, grips on grips, that bullshit. So I'm just going to show you a few different things. Now these aren't fully set up yet because I'm waiting on other bits and pieces, parts, a couple of sights, and I'll run through why I picked those sights, that type of torch maybe, and just why the rifles are that length and setup, blah blah. So first rifle I have here is my VFC HK416A5. Okay, now the thing with this is, this comes as standard. I think it is a 10-inch rail, quad rail. I take the quad rails off if I can off my rifles for the simple fact that these kind of key mod or M-lock or whatever rail you put onto it afterwards, with only one Picatinny rail on top, is much lighter, right? Way lighter. So I'm trying to lighten the rifle more by not having a quad rail on it. Okay. The sight system I have on it is a hollow, I think it's a 552 or something like that, can't remember. I'm trying to get my hands on more of these. I like the reticles, but I like the fact that they're all AA batteries. Because I game on Xbox so much, I am surrounded by AA's, rather than going off and buying that Kynes CR 2023, whatever the hell they're called, or the CR 123s. AA batteries is what I'm going to use on my sights. So I'm getting this one, and then I have another one on order. It should be here soon. Going for light then, right, so the PEC box. I know an awful lot of people have PEC boxes, but I'm actually going away from that, and I'll show you another rifle in a second one I'm leaning more towards. The lights on them, brand new, can be good. After a small period of time, they're not that they're bad, they just lose their throw nearly. So I'm going to replace it with another light, kind of like a Surefire, what is it, the Surefire X, or no, M300V or X, something like that. There's just a small light, it'll sit here off on the side, as I'll show you on another gun in a second. Another important thing about rifles is the buttstock, okay? So this is the original buttstock that comes on this rifle. It is comfortable, I don't want to change it, right? I'm pretty happy with this setup right here, okay? So that's another thing to consider. I had a PTS, I can't think, it's a PTS-C, whatever the name it is, polymer buttstock on another rifle, and it just kept collapsing back and forward. The buffer tube was too small for the actual stock itself. So try match the buffer tube with a comfortable buttstock, okay? Next rifle I'm going to show you is my Specna Arms 416, okay? So again, this already came with this M-lock-ish style rail, right? That's nearly standard for this rifle back a couple of years ago. As you see here, I am waiting for an optic. I have iron sights on all my guns, right? Because your optic can get shot out, the batteries might fail, there could be something wrong with the optic itself. So always have something to back it up, okay? I always get proficient with these sights as you would with a red dot, okay? This is the torch I'm on about. Sort of like a Surefire replica. This is the Surefire Scout Light, but I think FMA make this. The pressure pad is sitting here on top. And yeah, that's simple, okay? This is much lighter than that one, even with the scope, or not the scope, the sight and the PEC box off of that one. This is still much lighter. This is the stock I have on it. It's a Veltor. G&P used to make them. If you remember back 2012, 2013, there was G&P M4s that were going mad. Sales on the market. This is the stock for that. This fits quite comfortably on this rifle, okay? I swapped it out from this is the PTS stock that I was on about. This stock, if I did a little bit of pressure on the spec arms, would just collapse close straight away, and it was not good. Could crush the battery or the battery wires, the connections, all that stuff. So you want to be very, very careful with that. I replaced the grip with a PTS grip. Cannot think of the name of it. It's the same model as that stock I was showing you, but in a pistol grip form. But yeah, that is simply how my rifles are set up. Okay, this Mark 18, right, like I said, the first thing that's going to happen is this rail is going to go, right. The rifle is light enough, but if I can lighten it more, I'm going to do it. So this is going to go. I have an LVOAC handguard by Angry Gun, is that the name of them? I think something like that. I will replace it with that at some stage. I want to replace this with a PTS grip, the exact same as that one there. And then, as you see then, I have 2 iron sights, and I will get a torch to hang off the side of that one. So as you can see, the 3 rifles, I'm setting them up the exact same way each, because I want them to be familiar every time I pick them up. 1, 2, it's, if I put the same sight on all the guns, it is consistent battery, not I have to bring a separate battery for this one, a separate battery for that one, separate for this, whatever the case may be. The lights, they'll all be the same, meaning the exact same thing. They'll take the same battery. I might replace this one. Like I said, it's an M300X or an M300V, something like that. I can't think of the make and model of it. They're about 60-something euro just to replace it. It's just for nighttime stuff. Okay, I want to lighten the rifle as much as I can. The slings are important. Make sure to have a good sling on your rifle. As you see, it's attached to my 416-85 at the moment. It's a nice sling. I can pull it in and out of my body. If you're left-handed or right-handed, the other tip I would give you is if you're putting a torch on the side like this one here, put it away from your body, okay? So that when the rifle lies up against your body, it's completely flat on one side, and then all your furniture crap is on the other side of it. Just a tip, you don't have to do it, but that is just something that I think about when I set up a rifle. Other than that, that's kind of it really. Like I said, consistency is what I want with all my rifles. So I do have long rails on them all. We do an awful lot of blurg and stuff. There's very little fighting that I do inside a building. It's all out in the forest, out in the hill, out in the fields, whatever it is. So I'm not concerned about getting in outdoors. Now, skirmishing wise, yeah, I might be, but again, I have the Mark 18 here. I might decide in the morning I just won't change it. I'll just leave it the way it is, a nice small CQB gun. Leave the PTS buttstock on it, but replace the pistol grip with a PTS pistol grip. But yeah, hopefully you learned just something from that. Like I said, you can take my advice, you don't have to take it, it's all up to you. But when you're setting up your rifles and stuff, just think that in mind. Consistency, battery, maybe even iron sights, magazines like Spec Arms. This old Spec Arms is not nice for PMags, whereas these two love PMags and they love any other magazine in between. This one's a bit pernickety, but I wouldn't worry about that. Just try to find consistency in all of them. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little setup. Not how to, because that's shit. Just this. All right, thanks.